kid's going to be sleeping on this pillow and have a fever, and then you're going to get a text message that your kid has a fever that we saw because they were sleeping on the sensor pillow. And then your mom is going to have bad glucose for the past week, and we're going to text you and tell you that your mom has bad glucose. And I'm like, I don't want you fuckers to have any of that information.
Yeah, no thanks, dude. I'm okay.
It's just not.
It's like, you don't gotta fucking tell me that I have a fever or my kid has a fever.
Yeah.
Trust me, you fucking know it.
People can't keep shit straight now and away from hackers. I mean, it's going to get to the point where the insurance companies make it so you can get cloned from the shit people hack. It's going to be a lot easier to steal my identity when they roll in as me.
Oh, absolutely.
Fuck.
We used to do it all the time in high school. Every time we get in trouble, Bentley had like 15 brothers. What's your name? Jeremy Bentley.
He's not kidding. I'd get called into the office in the morning, and they'd be like, you weren't here yesterday. I'd be like, yeah, I just didn't feel like being here. What do you want? And they'd be like, all right, detention. And I'd leave, and I'd get called in again at lunchtime, and they'd be like, so yesterday at lunch you did this. I said, make up your fucking mind. Was I here or wasn't I? You just told me I wasn't here. Now I acted out? Come on. I didn't like that.
No,
bastard.
They never did. No, they never
The one
did.
time I caught you guys, though, it was Jamie trying to do it, and I stood up right next to him. Jamie's getting in trouble. He's like, my name's Jeremy Bentley. I stand up in the lunchroom. Fuck you, it is. My name's Jamie fucking Carlson, and I suck cock. All right, maybe not that far, but, I did say fuck you, and I said his name instead of my own.
Absolutely. So, that's exactly what it amounts to. I mean,
I should have said I suck cock, though. It would have worked out.
It would have worked totally. Yep, exactly.
So did the story end with you stabbing him and burying him in your basement?
If it would have, my bike would be in better shape right now.
That's right. That's right.
But no.
But no, unfortunately, no.
I'm an angry person. I'm not a physically angry person.
Oh, I see.
It's way too much effort.
I'm one of the ones that'll just yell out and be like,
lash out
fucking
irrationally.
too lazy to do anything here. I just don't want to.
That's fair. Me too. I think most of us really are.
Oh, yeah.
To do anything.
I mean, it's like I'm not going to lash out. I'm not going to go and do a violent thing because it spills my coffee. So,
There's that, too.
There's
so much effort at lashing out, too. You're just
I know, right?
fuck you!
And I'm fucking over it, It's like, I'm done, you fucking cocksucker.
In the middle of something, or I'd whoop your ass.
Yeah. If I wasn't in the middle of a Twinkie, I'd
a
be over there
good
kicking
burrito.
your ass.
Yeah. Just fucking balls deep in this burrito right now, so I can't be bothered.
Tell me you got that. Tell me you
Probably
fucking got that.
Hello and welcome to a Topic a Month podcast where we cover one topic a month split into weekly segments. This month's topic is going to be something that none of us can relate to, but definitely try each and every day. Thank you to our great friend Joe and his podcast, Cartastrophe 365, for giving us the topic of this month. Geniuses are everywhere, but nowhere to be found here. With us tonight is our substantially sexiful, secretly seductive, supernaturally silly, sophisticated, soliloquy-saying, sandwich-making, sordid Sir Alan.
Hello. What do you mean secretively sexy? I'm not secretively sexy.
That's what you took away from that? I took away sandwich making.
I did hear sandwich making, but I didn't bring any sandwiches,
Yeah.
so...
Damn it. You were like, that's the true one. Fuck.
If I honest to God, I was thinking about picking one up just to come over here and eat it while you're over there. I'm sandwich.
God damn.
That would have been perfect.
And, of course, none of us can forget the ball of fantastically fun, flatulating, flogging, funky, ferociously funny-filled, and with feelings of forever fucking fortitude, Bentley.
Fuck right.
I like it.
I like it. I'm going to high five that one, man.
It's got farting and fucking
Yes.
all in the same part.
Maybe a little bit of both at the same
Circle of
time,
life.
You fuck them just right and they fart. I mean,
Squish, fart, squish, fart.
It's all about that lube store.
back to that fucking lube store again. Jesus
Not enough
Christ.
lube, it's not going to be a good day.
No.
But first, the man who got stoned and invented time travel, but will only tell us the problem is funding. True story, it's inconsequential ramblings with Alan.
That's a true story, folks.
Yeah, no shit.
It really is, yeah. Okay. This one here's a little off, but it's okay.
A little off, because
A
the
little
rest
off.
of them have been right on.
Potted plants.
God damn it.
Fuck.
Not all of them in specific, or not all of them to be fucking. Okay, I fucked that one up. Okay, so
right.
I'm talking about the fake ones. Seriously, what the hell? If you like plants, get a real one. If you don't fuck around with a fake plant. Some of the best times I ever had was walking over to a plant at a party and seeing what kind it is. Because, I kind of like plants and things like that. And I walk over there and I find out it's a fucking plastic tree again.
And then he pees in it.
And then, well, you see, this brings me to another point because not only do I look like a fool, but then I'm the one getting blamed for there being an empty beer bottle and urine in the plant.
You know.
Come on, people, buy a real one or fuck off. Seriously. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had some of the most intelligent conversations with houseplants, but at least they were the real ones. Fuck the fake plants.
True story. I've witnessed that. I love you, plant.
Man, you're such an awesome
I
plant.
love you.
Oh my god,
I can pee in you.
Yeah. I'm gonna pee in that plant's butt.
This has been Inconsequential Ramblings with Alan, when you absolutely have to confuse them till the panties drop, except no substitutes. And now, back to the podcast.
That's no joke, man.
The confusing part or the peeing in plants part?
Yep.
All right.
Seriously, man. I actually, there was a one that we
I don't think you can plead the fifth on a story you're telling.
well, I could.
You're not supposed to.
It's not supposed to, but yeah.
You started off, yeah, all this happened. Nope.
No,
Fifth.
it really didn't happen. I plead the fifth. So we're back.
So we're back
Hey.
Fuck right. It took us long enough.
from outer space.
From outer space. You don't knock that shit off, I'm going to wipe that
No,
look off your face.
if we were coming back from outer space, we wouldn't have come back. We'd have stayed there.
Yeah, I'd fucking stay there. Shit, man.
Suffocated to fucking death, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Space suffocation, Trump.
Space suffocation, the world as it is right now.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I mean, the
I'm going to Mars.
Koreas are talking again, so there's
Well, that's
that.
always a
That's
plus.
weird. That's very
Yeah.
topical. Thank you for bringing that
Yes,
up.
I
don't know
I
anything
cannot
about
believe that they're actually talking to each
Yeah,
other
it sounds like they might actually be trying to go for a peace treaty.
to make one. Yeah.
Well, they're probably going to stay two countries. They're just,
God, I would hope so.
you know,
because
North
can't have
Korea can't afford to have all the men on the border anymore.
that's true.
They got no food.
They can't afford shit.
They can barely afford those crappy nuclear weapons they got.
Yeah.
You know, which is funny for that. My guess is they made the nuclear weapons so that way they could have a bargaining chip.
Yep,
But
and-
since they realize they're so shitty,
Yeah.
now what they can do is say, "We'll give up the nuclear weapons if we can have peace." Well,
Wait a minute.
what nuclear weapons? You wrote nuclear on a rock.
And you didn't write it correctly.
Yeah.
It's not
nuclear.
NUK.
It's nuclear. There's the E is silent.
Look like something Homer Simpson made. What the fuck?
All right. No shit. I built better rockets in my basement. I
Yeah.
don't even own a basement. That's the best part about this whole situation.
It's just
He
such
just got high on paint fumes and thought he was in the basement.
Well, not.
outside running around naked.
Actually, no. I have never once been that high where I ran around naked. I do know somebody who did, but I do not know.
Was she hot or was it Schnepper?
It was Rex.
Rex, like,
Yeah.
ah!
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Rumor has it he
the
got
biggest fucking dude I know.
motherfucker you ever met in your life. Rumor has it he got high on shrooms and chased a deer through a field butt naked. Then he tried to shoot it in the dark, no less. He tried to shoot it over the neighbor's house.
Deer's fucking lucky he didn't catch it.
Yeah, 'cause
He's got
he would've-
huge legs.
He would have eaten that motherfucker
Fucker-
raw.
Yeah.
He's a big
He'd
motherfucker.
have been picking his teeth with hoof.
Well, I hear you. Yeah, he was really fucked up. That's the rumor, at least. I can't corroborate that because if I did, I'd have to plead the fifth on the rest of the
Yeah,
night.
okay. We're back to this.
Well, anyway.
All right,
Anyway.
so what's the actual topic?
So the actual topic this month of what month is it? April? Fuck, it's April
Yep.
already.
Yeah, but we've been off for 3 months because of this bullshit that happened.
I know.
Right? Tell everybody in fandom what happened, Aiden.
So the external hard drive where everything is stored, even the backup stuff, decided to change from an NTFS format to a RAW format. And in doing so, I had to basically nuke the hard drive and pull off as much stuff as I could. I got most of the movies and music and everything else, but 90% of the podcast stuff gone.
So I do believe the words "fuck it" formatted will start over were used.
Fuck, they're always
Yeah.
used.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Yep. That was a sad
Bullshit.
time in the podcast world. But that's okay.
What do you do?
Well, you get it all fixed up and then you put us back and then we're good.
Hello.
Hello.
I completely forgot that reference for like 2 minutes there. It's been too long.
It's been too long. Yeah.
So,
What is the topic this month anyway?
Genius.
Geniuses.
geniuses.
Oh, genius. Oh, good. I fucking actually picked a few.
Hey.
Well, I picked 2 in my book. They're complete
I
geniuses.
can think of 2 that he probably would say.
What?
Actually, I wrote Heisman's probably going to say this one. On
Gene
one of my-
Roddenberry?
Fuck. No.
Oh, well, no, I didn't put that one either.
But see, that actually brings up one of the things that I started with here is how are we justifying this? Or how
Yeah.
are we saying geniuses? Are we going, like geniuses, science and engineering, and betterment of man geniuses, or just
like,
altogether geniuses? I mean, like movie geniuses, like Spielberg and Cameron and stuff like that.
I think that if we take the generalization of genius, because this is going to broaden it for
it's way out there.
fucking anything, which is really nice. Do I think that science and education and medical stuff has the best geniuses in it? Yeah,
Well, yeah,
obviously I do.
It's the betterment. What can you do with all the crap that they just came up with? Yeah.
Right, but I don't think we can deny the musicians, the actors, the
Guy
movie
who
producers.
invented Floam.
Right.
That is a mental image I did not need of him with Floam and nothing else.
I don't even know who was.
Just try.
No.
Come on.
Because you
it's fart noises and everything. God
you
damn
know,
it.
man, you can make a penis out of that Floam and stick it right to your fucking head, then they can actually call you a dickhead.
I'm a sexual unicorn, guys.
Hey, you ever, speaking of sexual unicorns, have you heard of the new one? It's called Blind Unicorn. It's when you fold your balls over her eyes, facing the top, and you jerk off. You know?
Oh my god. Kendra!
We got a thing here, but we need to videotape it while we're doing it. So just close your eyes and imagine something nice.
Don't pay any attention to the.
Yeah, don't pay
Over
any
your
attention to what's going over your eyes.
It's a chipmunk, I swear.
I swear to God. Okay, so geniuses. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a tough topic. Don't get me wrong, but I picked a couple that I feel that are, in a manner of speaking, in their field, they would be classified at the time. They would be classified as geniuses. And then I picked one because I wasn't thinking until after I reread that text message like 6 times that we were choosing geniuses. And the first one was completely not relevant to anything. But
that sounds like the starting point for our usual stuff.
The usual bullshit that we do here, right?
Not relevant to anything.
Oh, no, it
check that
completely isn't.
box.
Because you just said people that we like do a little thing and blah, blah, this and that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I reread it like a dozen times. So I'm like, oh, geniuses.
People that that you like that do that thing. No, don't bring her up.
Wow.
Well, are they, is it a genius or no?
It was just like a really... The way I look at it, there's 2 parts to it, is what it is. There's the beginning part of it that everybody knows, and it's like, oh, wow, he was really patriotic in this point. And the second one is the person that nobody knows. And that's where, in my opinion, he did a feat of, quote-unquote, it's not even a feat of engineering, it's a feat of humankind, and never got any recognition for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
okay. So everybody,
kind of what we were getting at.
everybody knows who Paul Revere is, right?
Who?
Not Paul Revere and the Raiders, by the way.
No.
That's a band.
Aiden, 1 if by dick, 2 if by ass.
Yes, you know that one?
That guy.
Yeah.
I thought that's what history was.
Yeah, that's what history is. So
He
everybody
rode around going, they're fucking us! They're fucking us!
They're gonna fuck us good. Get out of your beds. They're gonna.
They're
fuck
going
you.
for the ass!
They're
They're
going right
fucking
for
us!
the ass. Right, exactly right. So anyway, so
Doing the windmill with
a little meat spin in the background. You spin.
That's difficult on a horse.
Yeah, that's Yeah, it's hard to do, especially if you're standing up on a horse.
You got to stand a little higher.
So anyway, Paul Revere. Everybody knows who Paul Revere is. He's the Midnight Ride. The 1 if I land, 2 if I sea, blah blah blah. 2 arms, blah blah bullshit. So he rode 7 miles from the coast to Concord. Actually, I think he went to Lexington first, and then 7 miles to the others because he went to. Was it Lexington first and then Concord? Because he got those 2 little people there just to tell the main people that, hey, we have a problem. All right, so we got to hiccup the British are coming. Everybody knows who Paul Revere is. You fuckers know who Israel Bissell is? I bet you don't.
Is he the other guy that did it? Because I thought there was
the
multiple.
guy that did the vacuum cleaners.
No, but good guess. Good guess. No, the gentleman named
That was
Israel,
his grandkid.
Yeah, Israel Bissell. All right, he was a good guy. He was a full patriotic. And this is why nobody knows him, because he was a mailman.
Damn. Shit. It's a good thing you did go to that lube store.
Yeah, I know, right?
Fuck.
Israel Bissell, he was born in 1752. He died in 1823. All right, so he hung in there a good 70-something years. He was a post rider, or a mailman, basically, is what it was. So what he did is he actually rode. He brought the news to the rest of America at the time that the British were coming. He rode 345 miles.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, in 4 days and 6 hours.
And he got off the horse and was like, I got blisters.
He's got blisters on me
Holy
butt side. Yeah, he rode it alerted everybody. He ran from Watertown, Massachusetts to Philadelphia. All right. 345 fucking miles. All right. That right there to do on horseback in 4 days is incredible for what he did. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel that he could have been a genius, and he was the one telling people, the rest of the people, hey, two arms. The British are going to fuck us in the ass here if we don't get our asses moving.
Two if by ass. We went through
Two
that.
if by ass. Yeah, we went over by this one. So basically, he was the guy who delivered all the information to the people, and then that got distributed out to the smaller groups of everybody. And what the fuck are you clicking over there?
Don't worry about
Stop
it.
clicking shit. So I feel that this, like I said, this is before I read the topic again to figure out. I feel that this guy right here, nobody knows who that fucker is.
Sure.
Nobody. I feel that he should be recognized for a lot more than fucking Paul Revere. I hate Paul Revere.
I think we're going to find out that Paul Revere had something to do with starting Ragu, because this is a lot of rage coming from Alan,
Yeah.
and it's got to be something that has to do with sauce.
No sauce.
Noodles?
No noodles.
Garlic bread.
I love garlic bread. I found a new thing for garlic bread. I'll tell you about it later.
Fucking sweet.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so like I said,
So what's up?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
So
You guys are
that's
talking
like I
about
said.
food.
This one, yeah, this one here. Like I
You
said, that was
see
just
us?
an
Of course
accident.
we are.
Come on, I mean, you've seen pictures of us, and you've seen us in real life. Do you think we don't
He
talk
doesn't
about
need to
food?
see pictures when we're sitting 2 feet from him.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I mean that guy. It was a great feat of humankind to actually do that. Whether or not he was a genius is a whole other story. But the fact that nobody knows who he is because he's a mailman, that's just hilariously funny to rip on Aiden because of that. Because what do you know? Nobody knows who Aiden is, and he's a fucking mailman. So
There's 30 people that know.
And then there's the people that
the
don't
only
get their
reason
package.
the only reason why they know who you are is because you fucked up their mail.
I know. Really.
Look, he goes down his route one time with a baseball bat.
Yeah, one
You
fucking
won't stop giving him shit.
yeah.
You misdeliver one thing, and everybody hears about
Everybody
it.
hears about it. You fuck one sheep and you're branded. The rest of your life is McGregor the sheep fucker.
Yeah, well, you know.
What's the problem with that?
Maybe you shouldn't have done it at City Hall, bud. Just saying.
That's a good
Well, you know,
nickname
it
to
was
have.
right there. Oh, speaking of sheep. Sorry, I got to bring this up. Speaking of sheep, have you ever thought, like when you see a group of sheep, have you ever thought that maybe they're Australian and every time they bleat at you, they're just like, good eye, and a whole bunch of them start at once? Oh
No.
my fucking God. Next time you see them, honest to God,
Great.
that's what you're going to
That's
see.
all I'm going to think of
That's
next
all
time I
they're
see
gonna-
that.
You're going to hear blah, 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 and they're all going to be like, good eye.
Thanks.
Now that's been ruined. Of course, it could be worse. I mean, there's that screaming goat. Now every time I see a goat, I see him screaming like on that video on the internet.
I'm telling you, all I want to fucking do is get one pen, screaming goats and fainting goats, and just watch the carnage.
That would be pretty good.
I'm horrible.
Could you imagine if that happened, like, before people realized these two things? And, like, one kid brought his goat for 4-H, and it was the fainting goat, and one kid brought the screaming goat. And then the adults are just like, I don't know what the fuck these kids did to these goats. But
Something's wrong with
it's
these
this
goats,
endless
man.
loop, and we can't figure it out.
Figure what the fuck is going on.
4 a.m. Bessie over there hasn't slept all night. Fuck.
Fucking shit flying everywhere.
She's not giving milk. She's giving fucking cheese. We need to fix this now.
Oh God.
Little Jimmy's not allowed back next year.
Yeah, little Jimmy, you can't bring that shit no more. Okay, so there we go. Okay.
So, Bentley, what do you got?
Bentley, you
What
want
do
to go with
got?
one? Then we'll circle back around.
Yeah,
'cause
I
got a
mean,
couple more.
well, I started looking at stuff, and
Really?
you know, as I do,
No
and I wrote
fucking
down,
way.
like 3 mainstay, like scientific, you know, old style genius people.
Right.
Einstein.
I mean, well, 4 because one of them's split because everybody argues about them now. Edison and Tesla. Everybody's constantly
Yeah.
arguing about them on the internet.
What the flying fuck?
That guy's fart can is amazing.
It is.
But like Galileo, I expected him to mention him, or like
fuck.
yeah, or Newton
Ooh, yeah.
with the astronomy.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Copernicus.
when you look at like the older style, I don't even want to say older style, like the older geniuses that everybody looks back on and bases a lot of the stuff that we have now on. They're not categorized under one thing. I mean, like if you look at like Da Vinci, I mean, painting obviously,
Right.
but then there's
Absolutely.
the anatomy drawings. His drawings are amazing.
Yeah, oh yeah, fuck yeah.
And you know, he had like the flying machine ideas and crap like that.
You know, with the anatomy ones,
Yeah.
it was actually against the law to open up the human body and draw
Yeah.
and see what it is inside the anatomy and everything. He used to do it in the basement of the Catholic Church so they wouldn't catch him.
And some of those he actually wrote backwards.
He mirror wrote so nobody could understand what he was
Yeah.
doing. He's pretty
But
cool.
you look back on that stuff and it's never just like I mean, like, you think of Einstein, physicist, brilliant physicist, mathematician, because obviously physics and math go hand in
Right.
hand.
Can't tie his shoes.
But you look back at, like, Da Vinci, or you look back at, like Galileo, and you look back at the other ones, and it's just like they studied whatever they wanted. Mm-hmm. There's just such a broad spectrum of what they were into and what they were learning about and pushing forward. Yeah.
I think along those lines, it's, I mean, what's that, 600-700 years ago?
Yeah.
Right? So right around there. What kind of technology did they actually have? So
true.
You could go out, I want to study this, and you could just do it. And all you have to do is just categorize what you're doing. And then you've basically created a new science, biology or anthropology or whatever it would be.
True.
And you would have the freedom to do that. Whereas now, we already have this information.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to build off of it. And in that last 700 years, so much has been built off it. Now it's just these fine little niche categories. Like
Sure.
what Stephen Hawking, like, this is the one little thing that he does, so he's got to be perfect at it.
Yeah.
Like, he's a genius, but he's not really innovative in his field.
One of the best ones ever is when he had to apologize for fucking up. One of the dumbest things, they were following the wobble of a star to see if there was planets around it, and they forgot to take into consideration that the Earth does it too. He completely forgot to mention that. He's just like, "Oh man, I fucked up."
Yeah.
No, I fucked up.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, Stephen Hawkins, wherever you are.
He's dead.
I know, that's why I was saying it. Wherever you
I'm sorry. Hold on. I can't say that to you like that. He's dead, Jim.
Oh, fuck you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. He's dead, Jim.
But-
Yeah.
With that, though, how much are we missing because a lot of our focus and our research is partitioned out like that? I mean, we don't have people. I mean, there's a reason they call it Renaissance Man. Somebody that did all kinds of stuff.
I went Rain Man
We don't have people that do that so much anymore. If you specialize in one thing, you might also focus on a couple other things, but they all have to do with that same thing usually.
Right.
Yes.
I think we still have to, there's just so much information onto one thing. So say you're going to study math and physics for basically the rest of your life to actually understand everything about it. You'll still need to get some people that are exceptional in some parts of math and some parts they're just not. So that way you have to combine all the information that you have. You can still know a shit ton about it, of course, and I think people should gather as much information as knowledge as possible.
Information is ammunition.
But I just don't know if it's absolutely possible. I mean, for the broad spectrum of people, like, say, Da Vinci, really smart genius of a guy, but in today's terms, maybe not so much, just on the knowledge that he had, because he was just flying by the seat of his pants.
He didn't know where he was going with it,
Right, but I don't know.
But with that, though, too, like Faraday.
Oh,
The Faraday cage, electromagnetics, electric motor basis, all that stuff. He never really had a formal education at all.
Nope.
He just went into it.
He just opened up his book one day and started fucking
His
around.
family was rich enough he could fuck around all he wanted.
God, that'd be so nice.
Right?
What do you want to learn today? I don't know. Let's learn something fucking awesome.
Let's work with something that may or may not kill us if we do it wrong.
That weird looking rock over there is sticking to that piece of metal. We should look into that.
Yeah, we should really look into that shit. Absolutely,
But
you know.
how many the thing I am concerned about, and the thing that makes me sad about all this, is how many people have the ability to be a genius nowadays that just don't.
Yeah. It's you have
That
to apply
can't.
yourself. You literally
Well,
have
not
to
just
apply
that.
yourself with that.
It's a poor kid in the inner city.
Yeah.
Brilliant kid, never going to get into college.
He's never going to go anywhere because he doesn't have the resources in order to make himself better to get out of that situation.
Back in the day, he could have just been doing whatever. Oh, fuck.
Back in the
I
day,
noticed this apple fell this way every time. I figured something out. Shit like that.
Back in the day, that kid from the inner city would not have been studying anything.
Well, maybe some of them.
Not as much as you think.
Study a bullet, I guess. I
was
don't
going
know.
to say he was studying what way a rope drops.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, dude. Don't talk like that. Duluth will have years and years of being sad.
I know.
Fuck.
I know. Okay,
Build a monument to Alan's stupidity, and it'll just be a rope.
Oh,
Anyway.
that sucks. What's up? Sorry.
Nothing. Keep reading.
I'm prepping for a hockey game in about a half an hour.
Hockey.
What? For real?
Yeah.
You can watch it?
Yeah, Stanley Cup Finals, man.
Oh, shit.
I don't even know what hockey
Really?
is.
Fuck you. Well, the Wild in Winnipeg are fucking duking it the fuck out. The first few minutes of each game, they were basically just beating the shit out of each
Once
other.
Winnipeg could get to the cities.
Yeah, well, I love it. Yeah, well, that's the thing though. They were in Boston last time, and then they flew to the cities and they got there on time and everything. Well, the first two games, the Winnipeg took it.
Well, the game, what was it, Friday or Saturday? They were stuck in Duluth. They couldn't get down there.
Yeah, they did though.
Because fuck snow.
Yeah, because fuck snow. So they made it down there. Yeah, so they made it down there, and the game is on. And literally, the last game, they were beating the fuck out of each other. And then game 3 kicked in, and they're just beating the fuck out of each other. And after about 10 minutes into the first period, the coach, I swear to God, the coach just looks at him, enough of this shit! Play the fucking game! You know? And then they started actually playing, and they're fucking rough teams, too. These guys, you don't want to fucking piss them off. They're duking. Every time there's something goes wrong, somebody's throwing a fist. Anyway, moving along.
That's the best hockey.
That's the best hockey ever, man. I went to a fight once and a hockey game broke out.
Yeah.
You know?
But like Gretzky.
Yeah.
Hockey
Gretzky.
genius.
Hockey genius.
Yeah.
You know?
Phenomenal at what he does.
Yeah.
I was going to say Gretzky went to UMD, if I remember correctly.
Did he?
Yep. Oh, my God. We had this conversation the other day.
Did we?
About
you and me,
Gretzky
not
or
you
U
and
of
me.
M?
No, the unit of UMD. Brett Hall.
Yep.
Brett Hall went there.
Oh, man, Farmer loves that guy.
I know, right?
He's obsessed.
He's a hockey player.
Oh,
Yeah, he went to UMD.
I don't know anything about hockey.
That's right. You don't know anything about hockey. You know it takes place on the ice and there's sticks and fights. That's all you really.
That's all I know
to be
about
honest
hockey.
with you, to be honest with you, that's all you really need to know.
No. There's one very important thing you need to know along with that. If you ever are in the hockey fight, pull the jersey.
Yeah, pull the jersey over the head.
Just fucking start pounding it.
Once the jersey comes over the, they actually got them now, so they can't come over the heads. They actually
That's horse shit.
There's a strap on the back of their so
they're all wearing strap-ons, huh?
Yeah, it loops around the bottom of their pads. So when you try to pull the shirt over, it doesn't come off.
That's horse shit.
You really got to rip it off there, and some of these guys do it too.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
It's fucking tradition.
it's tradition, man.
Some dude getting beat up they can't even see. That's tradition.
It's like you say, like the guys who invent any type of sports games. I mean, they, in a matter of speaking, they'd be geniuses. You know, I mean, let's hit a ball and run around a circle. You know, it's like, nah, it's not.
I don't
really
know, man. If you're gonna say guys that invent a sports game are geniuses, then you gotta count Matt Stone and Trey Parker for basketball.
Agreed. Those guys are awesome anyway, I'm not going to lie. You know. Okay, so what about Aiden? Are we done with...
Is he a genius? I don't know.
Oh, God.
I am so far removed from that terminology.
That was real quick.
I wouldn't classify myself as a genius.
Not at all.
Mad scientist level, yes.
thinking
but not
idiot savant.
genius. Idiot savant. Rain Man. Oh, hey, buddy. You want to go play some poker? Come on, Wapner's out at 9. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Fucking
Hit him.
Wapner.
Hit him.
There's barely anybody on the internet knows what Wapner is anymore.
Well, that's all right. That's what makes it fun. Some of our older generation people who may or may not listen know what Wapner is. Anyway, moving right
May
along.
or may not. And now they've all turned it off.
That's all right.
Making fun of Wapner. Fuck them.
We've got one old guy that's just cringing in his,
Yeah, no
armchair.
shit.
You don't know Wapner. I
don't know what Wapner. Anyway,
Well, fuck, I had one guy, Paul Erdos. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm assuming that's correct. His name's Paul, and he's a Hungarian. And Paul's a fucking mathematician.
spell his last name.
E-R-D-O with an umlaut S.
E-R-D-O.
It's not necessarily an umlaut because he's Hungarian.
Is it 2 dots?
Yeah, but
Then
they're
it's an umlaut.
slanty.
Oh, no, it's not. What is it? E-R, what?
E-R-D-O with that weird umlaut
Yeah.
S. And if anybody knows what the weird umlaut is,
I think it's Erdos.
yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
In any case, Paul was a mathematician.
Okay.
Paul wrote 50,000 papers on math.
Good fucking
Fuck.
lord. I haven't even read 50,000 papers on porn.
I know.
That's
He's lying. He has 50,000 pages on porn at home. I
Bookmarks.
guarantee it.
Speaking
It
of,
takes 4 days to
Yeah.
load Chrome.
He's got a fucking card catalog for his file cabinet.
I do.
Playboys are
There
in
we
drawer
are.
2.
Section 34.
Yeah.
This
Anyway.
guy was anyway, he was incredibly smart, incredibly talented. His dad got killed in the war.
Obviously, a lot of them did.
Yeah, and his mom had to work pretty much forever. So what he did, they were both mathematicians, both of his parents. So what he did, he would just go for the math books and just learn math.
Oh, okay.
So he ended up writing and co-authoring 50,000 papers on
Wow.
math alone by in and of itself, and he would travel the world. He was known as the homeless mathematician.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right. And he would just show up at mathematicians'
I've
doors
heard of
my
this
brain
guy.
is open, and then they would just solve math problems together that they couldn't,
Wow.
the guy couldn't figure it out.
Dude,
Just
I've
leave.
actually heard of this fucker.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
he's super intelligent. with
Yeah.
math.
Oh my God, I have heard of this guy. As soon as you bring it up, like the homeless mathematician, I know this guy.
Yeah.
Not personally, but I've heard of him at least.
Right.
Yeah, he's not going to Al's door.
No, he ain't coming to my house.
No.
Or mine.
Unless he can figure out a carbs of a 440, he ain't coming to my house.
Which, dude, if you can.
If you can, if you're not dead already, if you can, my address
I
is
got
in
a bike
Superior.
for you to look at.
I got you something to look at there, fuckers.
I'm going to need to grab those carbs. I'm just going to get a rebuild kit.
Yeah.
The wife wants to try riding it. And... Anyway.
Anywho's.
Well, that's really all I
Oh,
had.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Severe ingenious mathematician kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to be somewhat smart to understand math and everything like that anyway.
It just goes right out the window for me.
Well, a lot of the times it does, but it, yeah.
Man, there's times I don't even want to use the calculator. Fuck
No,
math.
I know, right? Fuck math.
Fuck it.
So I've got kind of another one here. This goes back into the whole Edison, Tesla
Yeah?
conundrum, as you may put it. Everybody knows who Edison is.
Who?
Exactly, right? Not just the guy that
I heard he was a thief.
Well, as
Dun,
a matter
dun,
of fact, this brings me up into it. He could be a thief and or a murderer.
Oh, murderer,
I
too.
didn't know about the
That's
murder
new.
part.
He was credited. Yeah, he was
This
credited.
is not new.
Yeah. He was credited for a lot of things. Everything that he made, blah blah bullshit. He was also credited for the, in the U.S. at least, to be the first inventor of cinema or moving pictures, in a matter of speaking. So here's where the fun part comes in. There's another guy, Louis. I think I'm saying this right. Louis Le Prince. He's a French motherfucker.
Of course
Yeah.
he is.
Of course he is. Okay. This guy actually invented a single lens camera and is technically right now credited as the father of motion picture cinematography, blah, blah, bullshit. He was the first one to actually do it on a single lens with paper and film. Sure. It was actually something that actually did.
Oh, shit.
So this is what they did right there was absolute genius to come up with something like this to make moving pictures and all this happy fun stuff. The reason why nobody's ever heard of him is because he was going to go on a tour from France to London to the U.S. to show his shit off, to be like, hey, here we go. This is what it does. He mysteriously vanished off the train between, I believe, France and England.
Yeah?
Suddenly, poof, gone. He bought his ticket at the train station. The conductor remembers him being there. Never got off the train. Train didn't stop. He did.
Meanwhile, Edison was there chuckling.
Meanwhile,
evilly.
he's chuckling in his basement. Yeah, exactly, right? So he is so...
Fuck you, Frenchie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the worst part. Not only did he disappear mysteriously, but all of his stuff that he had disappeared mysteriously, too. Gone. All of a sudden, Edison's the inventor of cinematography. Now, I'm seeing a little coincidence here. That's the whole thing with the AC/DC bullshit, not the band. I know
Same words apply.
Same words apply, right? But basically what happens, everything, now there's a whole bunch of theories that went behind it. Either he committed suicide and killed himself off because of the pressure and everything along with being
because
a
that's the
genius.
first thing you think of when you have
Yeah.
something that a lot of people are going to want and they're going to buy.
They're going to buy. The
I
possible
just
murder.
need to end it all.
Yep, the possible murder planned and plotted by Edison. It's a theory, of course.
Was Edison even over there, though? That's the
No,
question.
but he knew about him. He knew about him, what was going on here, what
Suppose
was
you
going
could
to
always
happen.
pay somebody
Somebody off to
knock
pay
him
him to get him off the
Yeah.
train and everything like that. Another one is to he made a new life for himself because of a quote unquote secretive homosexual relationship that he may or may not have been in, but he was French, so it really doesn't
He started
matter.
the lube store.
He must have started the lube store, yes. Louis Prince's lube stores. The other theory behind it is he was killed by his brother because of the will that his mother made up, and was going to give all the stuff to the older brother, of course. But the fact that this is way off the topic of what was actually happening, but the fact that they came up with moving pictures in I didn't even get a year on it, but we're talking, like 1700s or something, aren't we? I mean, that's
I don't fucking know.
18s? I don't even fucking remember
long time
18s.
ago.
Let's say 200 years ago. I mean, for fuck's sakes. I mean, you think about it, 200 years ago, in my opinion, they're fucking primitive motherfucking caveman motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But they were coming up with stupid shit like this because they finally realized that they can make stuff and have the technology to do it. And all these guys who came up with all this stuff are absolute geniuses. Like you say, Tesla, Edison, the other dude. Fuck. fuck.
Yeah, that guy.
Hang on.
Pretty sure there's only
Because
two.
wasn't it? No, wasn't it? No, it was Edison's alternating current, and the other guy with direct current. Who was the other guy?
Tesla.
Was it Tesla?
Yeah, it was the two of them.
Oh, well,
Because,
because the electric chair they were duking it out.